We're here on Frightline this morning with Dr. Jim Anderson, better known as the Nut Doctor or Dr. Oatbrand. It's a pleasure to have you back, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
I understand you've just written a new book on diabetes.
That's right, yes.
Well, the focus today is about nutrition and diabetes and what we can do and why diabetes is so rampant right now in our population. How serious is diabetes right now, sir?
Diabetes is a bad disease, and it's a major problem in the United States. 24 million Americans have diabetes, and the bad news is that half of us are at distinct risk for getting diabetes. So we have a lot of bad and ugly news.
Well, speaking of the bad and ugly, what are the bad and ugly risk factors for diabetes?
Basically, to be blunt, the fat we eat causes diabetes, and the fat we wear causes the complications of diabetes.
Well, speaking of being blunt back, what is the fat we eat that particularly causes diabetes? This is kind of confusing, sir. Most people think it comes from too much sugar in the blood.
Actually, most carbohydrates and starches are protective from diabetes. High-fiber diets are very protective from diabetes, but fat in the diet, especially red meat, seem to increase the risk of diabetes seriously.
Now, that's a new one. Most people would not think red meat would be such a contributor to risk for diabetes.
But I think for obesity and diabetes, these are like the twins that go together. A high intake of fat is one of the worst things for risk for diabetes and for obesity.
Are you talking about both type 1 and type 2 diabetes?
We're 95% of diabetes is type 2. That's what we need to worry about because, we can prevent diabetes, development of diabetes for most people by healthy lifestyle choices, healthy eating, regular exercise, and judicious use of supplements can really abort the development of diabetes.
When you said the judicious use of supplements, what specific supplements are you in reference to, and define judicious?
Okay, wow.
How often should we be taking what supplements?
Okay, there's more details in my book and in my blog, on my blog, but basically there's the minerals that we take, that we eat, that protects us from diabetes are magnesium, chromium, and vanadium. The herbals, the other nutrition supplements you use are things like cinnamon and things that we don't hear much about, fenugreek, and we have a list of 11 herbals that seem to protect from diabetes. But basically, to prevent developing diabetes that runs in your family, I think most people need to lose a little bit of weight. 10 to 20 pounds of weight loss. You don't have to be skinny, but 10 to 20 pounds of weight loss will help. Secondly, walking. Try to walk 30 to 60 minutes a day. And thirdly, high fiber, low fat with these supplements.
Well, it seems, Dr. Anderson, you're saying the same thing that most people say on about any disease. Walk regularly, lose 10 or 20 pounds, eat healthy, eat, fruits and vegetables, whole grains. Aren't you saying the same thing that applies to any disease?
Basically, that's true. Our health is in our hands, and that relates to mainly diet. 60% of heart attacks can be prevented through dietary measures. 40% of cancers can be prevented through dietary measures. So healthy diet choices are very important for preserving health, but they have one of the biggest influences on the risk for diabetes.
Dr. So why do you think, knowing this, and the American public has been hearing this so often for so long, that our country is, more obese than ever, that statistics are coming out every day? The adults are more obese, children are more obese, greater at risk for diabetes and other disease. Why?
It's certainly not our genes. Our genes haven't changed in the last 30 years. I think their lifestyles have changed. Food is ubiquitous. Our eating patterns have changed, fast foods, eating less at home. Our society almost prohibits walking. Kids are driven to school or take school buses even 1 or 2 blocks. we just have a society that's much less active, and we have all of these high-calorie, high-fat foods available all the time.
So you're saying that diabetes can basically be reversed. If someone went today to their internist, got blood work done, and said, "Hey, you have early stage diabetes," what would you tell them to do to handle that right now?
Okay, I think if they're overweight, they need to lose some weight. Secondly, they need to start walking. They need to cut the fat in their diet way down. Try to minimize use of red meat, and then judicious use of supplements. I didn't answer the judicious question. I think that one needs to select specific supplements in milligram amounts. We've done research on this, and I can't give you all the milligrams now, but it's in our book and in our blog, that can, time after time, I've seen these reverse the tendency, bring the blood sugars back down from high normal to normal. So one can do this without draconian measures in their lifestyle.
All right. One more thing. Red meat. When you say reduce consumption of red meat, do you mean eliminate? Do you mean once a week? Tell me how.
I think one needs to look carefully at the intake of red meat. I think enjoying it once a week is a good goal.
All right, we have just about 15 seconds. Anything else you'd like to add, Dr. Andrews?
Okay, I think diabetes is a very preventable disease. Lose weight, walk more, and begin using some supplements.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.